Hello there, welcome back to Crafters TV. It's a craft along, which is so exciting. We are going to be creating something fabulous over the next couple of hours. I know loads of you have already been checking out our social media. I've got all your bits and bobs gathered, ready to create something absolutely fabulous. If you don't yet have the particular collection we're going to be working with, we are of course talking about the amazing Sara signature Twas the Night collection. Then we're going to give you the opportunity to get your hands on that as well, and I'll tell you more about that as we go through the show. But I think we should find out who our teacher is today and also what fabulousness we're going to be making. It is, of course, the award-nominated Hottie Scotty himself. He's back with us. How are you, Craig?
Oh, I'm doing good, thank you, Joe. Really looking forward to that one. It's been great so far today. You know, got Joe back for the next, well, what, 5 days now?
5 days, yes.
Yes, so me and you all day today, and then, well, tomorrow morning anyway. But this is it. This is what I would say is going to be one of, if not the biggest craft long of the year so far, simply because it's Sara's signature. Twas the night before Christmas, which was her big 2021 launch of our Sara signature Christmas collection. So what we have a look and see what you're going to need if you want to make exactly what I'm going to be making. So we're going to need the Sara signature collection. So more specifically, you're going to need the 12 by 12 paper pad. You're going to need the 12 by 12 pearl pad. You're going to need the festive foliage dies, Happy Christmas to All stamps, festive embellishments, mixed ribbon, jingle bells and gold thread. Then the extras that you're going to need are going to be the Gemini Midi or Junior, or you can use the larger one if you want, luxury gold card, A3 double-sided cream pearl card. Don't worry if it's not double-sided, but A3 you will need for the size of the box. You're going to need a scoreboard, hot glue, foam pads, scissors, pokey tool, craft knife and ruler, tacky glue with the fine applicator, water reactive ink pads, the Chinese red and pine tree, a bone folder and the King Gold Gilding Wax. That's everything that you're going to need if you want to make exactly what I'm going to be making. Of course, as we know by now, some of you might change it slightly, which is entirely up to yourself. You're more than welcome to do, but I'm really looking forward to this one.
It's going to be an absolutely awesome one. Now, of course, Craig's going to be leading craft along here in the studio, but as always, we're going to be joined by a very special guest, which is lovely, and we're going all the way across the pond today, and we're going to speak to the lovely Pam, who I believe is in New York. Pam, how's it going?
It's going great, thanks.
Oh, awesome. So pleased to have you with us today. Have you got all your bits and bobs gathered, ready to create something fabulous?
Yes, I do.
Oh, excellent. It looks like a very well organised, beautiful craft room you're in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love all the ribbons and stuff hanging up there. It looks like a little treasure trove. So we're going to be popping back in and joining you periodically through the show. I can't wait to see what you make, Pam.
Thank you.
Awesome. Loads of you tuning in and saying hi as well. Georgianne is in Clearwater, Florida. Polly's in Florida as well. Florida's a place to be today. Casey Mum's also in Naples, Florida. And then ironically, Jan Robbins is in with us as well. And she lives just down the road from Naples, actual Naples in Italy. There we go. She says it's a few degrees cooler today. It's 32 degrees Celsius. Okay. I'm going to guess that's about 86 Fahrenheit. I'm sure Georgina will let me know if that's correct. I never know. I love guessing though. Michelle is in as well from New York. Rebecca's here. Loads of you, lots of you gathering your bits and bobs together, ready to create something fabulous. Now remember, we do have the Twas the Night collection available for you in the show. So if you haven't yet bought it, you watch this and you think, do you know what, I would love to get involved, then we've got it available for you. And it's a really great collection here as well. You get the 6x6 paper pad included, all the embellishments are in there, embossing folders, cut and emboss folders, dies, edgeables, stamps and dies. It's a really awesome collection. Check out the saving as well. £91 you save through that collection for you in more detail as we go through the show. Elaine just says if we don't have A3 paper, can we get to make it that large? If we don't have an A3 paper, could you use a 12 by 12? This was something that was asked in the wake-up call as well. For the box, I think people are talking about, Craig.
Right, so if you're wanting to make the box, you're going to need A3 for the box because of the size. It's a big box to actually contain the actual cracker. So for that one, you will need your larger cardstock for that one. The cracker's not an issue. That's it's going to be made with 12 by 12. So if you don't have A3, you could get some of your sheets of cardstock together, and you could join it together using some adhesive, and then once the box made, if you've got that seam line that has been seen, you'll be able to cover it with ribbon or some pattern paper. But to make the box in a winner, you will need A3.
Okie doke. I mean, and you could always make the cracker element, and then remember you can watch this back any time. Once you order some A3 cardstock, then come back and watch the box element. It's completely up to you. Or you could make just the cracker. It really is up to you. I can't wait to see what you all create as we go through the show. But I know, Craig, you've got lots to squeeze into this couple of hours. So I think without further ado, I'm going to hand over to you.
Let's do it. So yeah, so we will, as we always do, take stops throughout. Joe, please feel free to stop me if you feel that we need a little bit of a break.
Absolutely.
To let anyone catch up, or let Joe know if you're just falling a bit behind to start with. But we will try and we'll get it done, but I'll try and do it so that we're not rushing, but on the other hand, it's not too slow either.
Absolutely. If you have got any questions or comments at any point, then you can get in touch with me, Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube, and I'll pop those questions over to Craig.
Let's go for it. So what we're going to do to start with, let's take one of our 12 by 12 papers. So we're going to start with the cracker. We are going to start big with the main feature being the cracker. So we'll take our 12 by 12, and what we're going to do is we're going to then cut this one down to 8 1/4 by 11 inches. So let's take out the arm. So we're going to go 8 1/4 by 11. So turning that one around, and we're going to go up to the 11-inch mark. So we've now got, which will actually, within, not too long, will actually be our cracker, believe it or not. So what we can then do is, now that we've got that sheet, we're going to bring in the scoreboard. Now, although the cracker's kind of a substantial size, you can still do it on your Scoremaster, and you can actually even do it on your A4 scoreboards or your Ultimate Pro if you've got one. What I'm just going to do, let's finish off that A. I've got a little bit of a rough edge there at the bottom, and we don't want that with a cracker. So let's bring in our scoreboard now. So we've got our cardstock, so it's 8 1/4 by 11 inches. So what we're going to do on the long side, so we've got the long side along the top, and then we've got the 8 1/4 up against the left hand side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to score at 2 inches. So I'm going to do it lightly and do it a couple of times. Then what we're going to do is we're going to move over to 2 3/4. I'm going to dip my head in just because of the lights reflecting off the board. So 2 3/4. Lightly a few times, and then we're going to go to 3 1/2 inches and lightly a few times. So that, on that first line here, so that's 2 inches, then it is 2 3/4 inches, and then it's 3 1/2 inches. So then we're going to flip that around, and we're going to do exactly the same. So we're going to score at 2 inches. I'm going to do that lightly a few times. We are then going to go in and score at 2 3/4, lightly a few times, and then once again we're going to go in at 3 1/2, like so. And if you are familiar with crackers, you can kind of already tell Joe where we're going along the lines of the crackers as well as the handles. So I can move that out the way now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold and burnish all these lines. So for this time being, it doesn't matter which direction, let's just get them folded over and burnished. And we're going to do that with both. So let's take these ones in. So I'm going to do all 3 together, and then let's burnish them. So we're going to go in to here, and then we're going to go in with this one. So this is where, on the list, I did write bone folder. So either using your score tool like I'm doing, or if you have gone with the list and using the bone folder, that's why I popped this one in. So if I open this one up, so we've got all our score lines here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this side bit over. So we've got that middle bit, so we folded it over, that we can see here. And I'm going to turn it around so it's facing me. Now, ideally, Joe, I would have liked to have used our ruler. Our ruler's in centimetres. You know, most of us like to do it in inches. So that being the case, what we're going to do is taking your pen or a pencil, and I'm just wondering, George, are we able to zoom out a little bit so we can see down at the glass mat? That would be great. Fab. And what I'm going to do, Joe, is along my folded line here, I tell you what, George, I'll move it back in a minute, but here we go, there we are, that's better. So what I'm going to do is popping it right against the 0 here, I'm going to do a little pencil mark at every ½ an inch. So every ½ an inch, I'm going to do a pencil mark or a pen mark. Of course, you can stabilise it with low-tack tape if you want to. But every ½ an inch, doing a little pencil mark, working my way along, carrying on going, holding it down. Once we get to the end, it won't be an exact even, like it's kind of like...
You're left with what, a quarter of an inch or something?
Yes, less than quarter of an inch that's left over. It doesn't matter, so don't worry about that one. So I know it's harder for you to see. You'll obviously know by what you've just done at home. So little pencil mark every ½ an inch. And then what I'm going to do for now, Joe, is I'm going to turn my cracker over and I'm going to do exactly the same. So fold into that centre panel.
So where you're marking, you've just got one score line showing. It's a second score line out from the centre, yeah?
Yes, so it's that centre one, that second one as you're saying. Yep. So folding that in on itself. And then once again, I'm going to hold it. And then every ½ an inch, so I've got it right at the 0. And then at ½ an inch. And every ½ an inch, I'm going to do a pencil mark all the way along. And I try to work out the best way to do this, Joe, to have a cracker, to have it look like a cracker. And although we aren't necessarily going to be using it in a way that a cracker would be, I wanted that organic look of what a cracker is. And I felt that craft along, we can't really do templates or that because the whole purpose is a craft along. So this is the easiest way I felt that we're able to do it. So now on both sides, on the left and the right, what we've got is little pencil marks that are ½ an inch all the way along. So I can move this back in now. So what I can do is now that we've got that bit, so if I move my scissors into that first pencil mark, so there's my pencil mark here. Now, you aren't going to be neat and exact, don't worry about it. You know, you don't have to be exact or neat for this one because the way that the cracker is folded over and assembled, you're not going to notice any imperfections. So with my scissors, so there's the first pencil mark. So I'm going to go in between the first and the second, and I'm going to cut a slit up to that score line. And I am folded over, so I am cutting through 2 layers of cardstock. So then, once again, so there is our pencil line. Then what I'm going to do is skip this next one, and then between the 3rd and the 4th pencil line, I'm going to do a snip. And then between, skipping this next one, and then I'm going to go, so 1, 2...
So are you on the mark, every other mark, Craig?
So on this one here, I know it's really hard to see on this green. So here is my first, where my scissor is there, that's the first pencil mark.
Awesome.
So what I've done is I've gone in between
okay, cool.
the 2 pencil marks. These pencil marks are there for a reason. So we can just see it, there we go, we can see it here.
So you're snipping in the middle of every other gap, essentially?
Every other gap,
okay.
So then we're going to go along. So now I've done that one, so I can miss that one, and then snip, and then I can miss that gap, and then I'm going to snip up. So I'm then going to miss, just so you can see, so I'm going to miss that ½ an inch, and then I'm going to snip. And I'm trying to let you see, and then because it's pedal card, so we are missing, if you can see, we can just see the pencil line. And
I can see it there,
You can see it there. So I can snip, missing this one, and then snip. So I'm missing that one, snip, and then I'm missing that one, and then I am snipping. So let's see if we can, once again, before we do it on the other side, explain that a bit better. So we've got our first pencil mark here, and then in between first and the second, we've done a snip mark. Then what we've done is we've skipped that 1/2 inch, and then between 3 and 4, we've done a snip line. Then between 1, 2, 3, 4, so between 5 and 6, we've done a snip line. Between 7 and 8, we've done a snip line. And then let's work our way up. So then let's count again. Lost count, Joe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So between 8 and 9, we've done a snip mark. Gosh, Joe, I'm losing count. Maybe the green wasn't the best way to go with, but hey ho, we've done it now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 and 11, 12 and 13, 14 and 15.
So you should end up with roughly 1 inch tabs in along the bottom, Craig.
All the way along, yeah.
Cool.
I wish I explained it in that way, Joe. That made more sense. Let's turn it over, and then we're going to do it again.
Excellent.
So don't worry, this is the only complicated part,
Okie doke.
trust me. So between 1 and 2, we're going to snip, and then 1, 2, 3, between 3 and 4, between 5 and 6, it's between 7 and 8, between 9 and 10, 11 and 12, 13 and 14. So as you said a moment ago, Joe, what you'll end up with is 1 inch little panels all the
Awesome.
way through. Apart from the top and the bottom, but other than that, all the way through what we're going to do. And then this is where the pencil lines come into place.
Cool.
So from that pencil line up to that cut point, we're going to snip, and then we're going to snip. So we're creating a little triangle.
So Kristin says, so there's 2 pencil marks between in each strip, basically.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yep. Absolutely it is. So then what we can do is, where we've got that next scissor snip, from the pencil line and the pencil line, we're going to cut up. And then we're going to do the same pencil line to pencil line. So pencil line up to the pencil line to up. So we are getting these little triangles all the way up. So following and continuing, so that we end up with all of these, which are half triangles, but once we open it up, you will end up, that you'll see right now, with your little diamonds.
Awesome.
That we can see all the way down. So what we can do is finish this section off, Joe, and I know we will definitely need a little break after this
Okey-doke.
one for anyone to catch up. We're doing the same. So where our pencil line is, we're going to go and snip up, getting all these little triangles out. And once we've mastered this one, it is plain sailing all the way. So here we are. We're going to go up, finishing off there, and then there, there, and then there, and then last but not least, there, and then there. So we can then open this one up, and then here is what is the main basis of your cracker. And by doing this, This is what's then going to enable you to do the curving of it, the rounding of it. It's going to give it that shape that you can get and know when it comes to a cracker.
Excellent. Right, let's just give everyone a little chance to get themselves caught up then in that case. Make sure, if you've got any questions, get them into me, Crafters TV, over on Facebook, Crafters Companion, over on YouTube. If you don't yet have this collection, then don't worry, because we have got it available for you, and I'm going to run you through exactly what you're going to receive in this particular bundle right now. So, you've got some really beautiful items within here. I'm going to start with this one just here. Now, this is a festive foliage, which is that beautiful floral poinsettia die. Really gives you the opportunity to cut these out, emboss them too, and really build up really lovely full lush projects using that one just there. Then next here we have got the embossing folder. Now, a lot of this works in a festive tone, but also think about using this in your everyday crafting. Musical notes, really versatile all the year through. That is your musical notes embossing folder. You've then got your stockings by the fire, these gorgeous stamps that you're really going to love colouring up. Really lovely imagery here on these. You've got a cut and emboss folder in here, which is your traditional window. It's going to be perfect for building scenes up behind there. Then you've got this one. Now this is your build a stocking. So again, really great. You can actually cut out all the individual items, build them up, and then really think about creating things like dimension on there too. Not only build a stocking, but you're going to build a sleigh as well. So think about using this on things like your 12 by 12 scrapbook pages, would look awesome on those. Then next up, we have got your St. Nicholas, which is that gorgeous stamp there. You've got that lovely sort of big, are we calling it? It's like a stately home almost in the background. And then the sleigh, the reindeer, embellishing elements there with a present as well as the holly leaves. Then we move on to this one. This is Christmas Eve. Now this would look great, I think, incorporated into that amazing cut and emboss folder that you're going to receive in this collection. We're then going to move into some of the dies. So this one here is awesome. This is your music and swirls that you can see just here, which is a beautiful edgeable style design, and again really beautiful embossed detail as well as all of that intricate detailed die cut element too. Then you've got your pine tree edgeable in here as well. Craig created a lovely stepper card using this just this morning. You've also got your Happy Christmas to All, which is this one just here. Really beautiful, and again this is scroll is gorgeous, and you've got the little scroll here too, and lots of really lovely legible sentiments in there. This one here is your decorative frame. Again, use the embellishing elements together with the frame to create something gorgeous, or you can actually split those elements out and use them separately. It's completely up to you. Then we move into these. You've got these awesome berries in here. I think the embellishments in this particular collection are incredible. You're then going to receive the bells on here as well, and these are so much fun to add to your projects. And you're also going to get the ribbons, which are these ones, and you do also receive the twine in here as well, which is this gorgeous gold twine. Use it on your card projects, use it maybe even for wrapping your gifts as well. You will receive a paper pad in here too. It is the 6x6 paper pad that I've got just here, and you can see all of the gorgeous imagery that's on here, all double-sided for you. It's got spot foiling within there too, so really adding a little bit of extra interest and drama to your projects. You get all of that included. Now the saving is quite unbelievable, considering this is our most recent Sara Signature launch. Everyone is saving £91 or $122. Platinum members, you're going to be saving even more, of course. $78.98 is your today's price, or $98.67. All of you getting some sort of club inspired discount, which is really exciting. So if you don't yet have it, you want to take part, and you're thinking, do you know what, I'd really love to be able to create this particular craft along, then you've got the option to do that. What I would also say is you do have some smaller collections available. They're broken down into things like their dies, their Stampin' dies. You'll find those smaller collections over on the website under the Shop the Show button at crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. I will break those bundles down and show you the smaller bundles as well as we go through the show. Lots of people still chatting away. A lot of people saying Rosalind missed the end products, what it's going to look like, Craig, so I wouldn't mind seeing it again. And Evelyn saying as well, for the A3 piece of cardstock, will we need the oversized scoreboard? Can we use the regular one when we get to the A3 piece of cardstock?
You will be able to use the smaller one,
okay,
because when it comes to A3, we will need to just chop it down slightly. So you will be able to, absolutely, yeah.
Excellent.
And in actual fact, I don't think anyone did miss what the finished product will look like. I don't think I actually showed it at the start
did you
of the
not?
show. Don't think I did, no. So forgive me, no one did miss it. If maybe you didn't see Wake Up Call this morning, so don't worry, it wasn't yourself, it was my fault. Didn't show you at the start. what we're going to do is the end result will look like this cracker. Now, unlike a traditional cracker where we would use it for a little joke inside or a hat, the intention is for you to pop a little gift in before you tie it up. But that is the cracker that you can put the gift in, but I thought let's go big and let's even make a gift box to pop the gift cracker in as well. Thought Joe had to do something spectacular for Sarah's signature.
Absolutely.
For Christmas. So that is what the end result will be, all using Sara's signature collection. Twas Night Before Christmas.
Excellent. Right, I think in that case everyone's pretty much set and ready for the next step if you are, Craig.
Brilliant. Let's go for it. And now we can start to do the decoration part. So let's go in now. Now, using one of the pattern papers from the 12 by 12. For this one, I'm going to be using the one with this holly design on the front, which happens to have the red kind of like stars in the background. So what we're going to do, I want to have this pattern first also, this one with the holly. So for this one, what will then be the actual centre part of our cracker. We're going to take this one here and we're going to cut this one to 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. So let's go 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. So there is our first panel, which will actually be the centre panel. So once again, that was 3 and, did I do 3 1/4?
You did 3 1/4, yeah.
Forgive me, guys. 3 3/4. Can't read my own writing. 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. So that gives us our centre panel. So we've got that one. So once again, 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. Then what I'm going to do is these other bits, I'm going to flip them over and now want the red side. So what we can then do is I want 2 pieces that are actually going to be 1 3/4. So if you have already cut what I just done there as a mistake, you can actually use this bit now because we want it a bit smaller. So I'm going to cut this one down to 1 3/4. So get that to 1 3/4 to 8 1/4. So that's fine, I'm already at the 8 1/4. And we want another one, exactly the same. So that might be just a bit too thin, which it is. So 1 3/4 by 8 1/4. So if I move them, so what we'll have, Joe, is we'll have our 3 parts here. So we've got our centre part, this one being 3 3/4 by 8 1/4. Then both of these ones are 1 3/4 by 8 1/4. So that's our panels. So what we can then do at this point is we can move on into our inks. So I'm going to go around with my pine tree and I'm going to go in with one of my blending tools. I'm only using the pine tree just now. I don't need to use the red just yet because it's only this one I'm going to add some ink on. So what I can then do is go around with my pine tree and I want to highlight the edges all the way around. You could put this straight on and it would look nice.
Okay.
But what I want, Joe, is a little bit of green just to blend it out into the cracker so we've not got that harsh end lines. So that's why I want to add a little bit of colour. So I'm going to go around and then we're going to ink up all the way around.
Lots of people quite excited because a lot of people maybe not hugely familiar with crackers, Craig. So loads of people in the comments really excited to be giving this a go and making it. And also, if you are in the States, you're giving these to people as little gift holders. How awesome! Because it'll be something they're not hugely familiar with. You'll be able to enlighten them about the world of crackers, Craig.
Exactly. You can enlighten them for sure.
Crackers is also a little bit of a sort of colloquial term for someone who's a little bit kooky, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Your
there
crackers.
You go. Craig's Crackers.
I am. Oh, we've known that for a long time, haven't we? Craig's Crackers. And then you get food that are called crackers. See, it's the English
Crackers.
language.
It is.
Loads
It's very
and loads.
confusing.
Yeah, very.
Katie easily says, that's a cracker of a cracker. I love this idea. A cracker is also another term you could say if something's really good. You know, if someone like scored a goal or a try or a whatever, I don't know, whatever people score in sport, you could say that was a cracker of a shot or a...
No, I don't think Georgina's got
No, I don't
kind
think
of
Georgina
grasp what we're
gets
on
the
about.
sentiment. You know, it's all built around the words that we can use for cracker, Georgina.
Oh gosh, I love you, Georgina. You're brilliant. Make me laugh. So there we go. I've gone round and round and round. Not gone too heavy-handed, but I built that colour up lightly time and time again. So we have then got our outline. So what I'm then going to do is I'm going to then come in here and we're going to go in with the holly berries. And I know you might think, well, you're putting green on green and then red on red, but it's surprising how much of that little bit of an extra detail that colour gives you, ink colour around the edges. So I'm going to go in with the holly berry, and because we've got some of these ivory sort of colours, you know, it could be stars, snowflakes, it could be a multitude of things. What happens is the red berry, although it's a lighter red, it still creates a faux matten layer. And what you need to keep in mind as well, Joe, is with a cracker, because you need to have that flexibility in it. If I bring this one in, you need to have that flexibility so that you can start to mould it and shape it. If I was to do more layers of physical cardstock matten layer, that's going to make it so hard to create that roundness of the cracker. So by using our inks, we are creating additional mats and layers, subtle mats and layers, but by adding no additional weight whatsoever to the actual outline of the cracker.
Linda has just asked me why they're called crackers. I think I know why they're called crackers, but I'm going to double check, Craig.
That's a good question, actually. I'm not sure myself as to why. And not only that, but why. Certainly here in the UK, I know obviously as Sarah would say in Australia, you get them in Australia and that, but you know, what was the idea for them? What was the purpose of them?
So they are called crackers because of the noise they make when you pull them. They make a small snap, which is a cracker. But Christmas crackers are festive table decorations that make a snapping sound when pulled open, often contain a small gift and a joke. They are part of Christmas celebrations in the United Kingdom, Ireland, says here the United States, and Commonwealth countries such as Australia, Canada, New Zealand and South Africa. There we are.
There we go. It's one of those things. Now, who was I talking to yesterday? There was someone in here. It'll come to me in a minute. But crackers, and even things like candy canes, don't necessarily use them, or candy canes eat them, but I like to have them around the house. It just makes it feel more festive. It's like a Christmas must when it comes to these.
You've just got to have them. You've
got to have them. So I have inked both these panels here with the red berry. You could, if you want to, use Bordeaux or Chinese red.
Any particular reason you've gone for red liner here, Craig?
Because what we want, again, it's going with the strength, Joe. If you want to use your tacky glue, once again, that's something that you can do. That will then dry into the fibres of the cardstock. If I was at home, like this one here, would use the tacky glue. Okay. But what we need to think of as well, even just for timing on a craft along, the tacky glue doesn't take long to dry, but we still need it to dry a lot quicker than it does for me anyway, to come and mould it and shape it.
Okie doke.
So if you do want to use the tacky glue, you can do, but for the assembly of this, it's red liner, it's ultra strong, which means I am more than happy to use it with the cracker.
Fabulous.
So all that I'm doing is I'm going round all four edges with the red liner tape, and I'm even adding an extra strip down the middle. And with the red liner tape, what it'll also do as well is it will still give you that extra strength without any additional weight, like we were talking about a moment ago.
Fabulous.
So we can go in with this one. So by simply going all the way around, and there's no specific reason as to why I'm using this 6mm width, just in case anyone's wondering. If maybe you've got one of our thinner ones, which is like 3 mils, or even if you've got some of the thicker ones, absolutely fine. It just so happens this is what I had to hand to start with. So by finishing this one off, popping that in, and then what we can do is let's make sure we've got that nicely adhered into place. And then what we can do is bring back in our cracker. Let's bring this one in. And then we're going to pop our centre panel in. And obviously the width of it is, or the width or the height, depending on which way you're looking at it, is the same as the cracker. And then we've got just a nice little border that's going to go all the way around or all the way down, so that we're going to have our centre and our 2 edge panels. And that will be the decoration.
Excellent. Any questions that you've got as we go through, don't forget you can get them over to me, Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion, if you are of course on YouTube. Kate says, that's the term I use, what a cracker. It basically means awesome sauce plus icing on top. There you go.
That's a good,
it's a good way to look at it. She says, I won't get into you beauty or bonza. There you go. They're also 2 terms that could also be used. These will be great to decorate the Christmas tree or even a staircase, says Carrie. Interestingly, my mum always used to put the Christmas crackers on the Christmas tree.
Yeah, so did we.
When she put the Christmas tree out, and then would remove them from the Christmas tree on Christmas Day and put them on the table. But I don't recall seeing people doing that these days very often. It used to be quite a traditional thing to do, didn't it?
Put them on the tree, yeah.
Put them on the tree and then remove them on Christmas Day and put them on the table. But now you don't seem to see them on trees very much.
No, you don't. No, I totally agree with you there, that we used to always have them on the tree. We never took them off and put them on the Christmas table. We always just had another set for the Christmas table.
Oh yeah, we used to remove them from the tree and put them on the table.
Plus, when we were younger, you'd be lucky if they actually lasted till Christmas. We'd just pull them.
Right.
But as going on what I was saying a moment ago, I don't put them on the tree like you say, but I have to have them about. So whether I've got like this little garland that I put on my staircase, and I maybe pop some of the candy canes or a couple of the crackers, make a little bit of a feature from them. Enjoy doing that. It's nice. It's nice to see, certainly with even like candy canes being, you know, they are American, you know, they're starting to become more and more popular across here at Christmas.
Look, I saw a lot of people last year with candy cane style ornaments on their trees, Craig. So like baubles or ornaments that were the shape and size of a candy cane, not actual candy canes. And also, you know, like the lollies that are like twisted like a spiral?
Yeah.
Saw lots of those. Lots of people had sort of confectionery themed trees last year. I seem to see a lot of them.
Confectionery?
Yeah, so we like lots of candy canes, those twisted lollies, you know, lots of those kind of style ornaments on trees.
Yeah. I might need to think of that for...
you look like you're dancing with that cardstock.
Many trees this year. So what I'm wanting to do, very softly, I'm wanting to start to manipulate the cardstock, because what we want it to be is to create a round cracker.
Right.
But I don't want to go in direct and fold it straight round. Doesn't matter how incredible our quality the cardstock is, you could twist it, you could tear it. We don't want that. So to hand, if you've maybe got something round, even like a rolling pin or something that you want to start to wrap it around, then by all means you can do if you want. If not, what we're going to do is nice and gently, we're going to manipulate the cracker so that we get it flexible, but without tearing or getting any of these little diamonds feathered by ripping. So we're going to keep going and going, and you'll find that it starts to get a lot more flexible the more that you do it. And it's another way of stretching the fibres. That's what it is. So usually when we say stretching the fibres, we're using our scoreboard, but this is another way. It's just to help it, manipulate it. And this is something that highly, highly suggests that you take your time on, just so that you're going to get that perfect shape to the cracker. So you can see even now how it starts to come in together. So we can see you could then start to fold it over. But what I am going to do is we're going to sit it to the side in a moment or two. At this point as well, if maybe you've got a little gift you want to pop in just now, of course you don't have to. What you can come and do later on, once we've made it, is maybe untie the end.
Oh, you can untie it again?
Yeah, we'll do it so that you can, well, I'll show you how I do it so you can untie it.
Okay.
And then you can then pop a present or that in at a later date. So this is where you'll start to see how it starts to come together as the cracker. I just want to get it into shape so that you can get familiar with. So that's where our cracker, and these diamonds serve a purpose, because what they do, they enable you to create the ends. So there we go. All comes together.
I am really surprised how simply that has come together. To look at it, I thought that element, the construction element, was going to be much more complicated than it actually is. I think everyone seems to be keeping up in the comments for what I can gather. Okay. We had no real questions coming in. Mary says crackers can be bought at Costco and World Market during Christmas season in the USA. There you go. Shelley says I use crackers every year. I absolutely love them. Can't wait to now be able to make my own. And Deborah says I always hang real candy canes on my tree every single year. There we are. Remember, it's not too late if you do want to get involved with this. The full collection is still available for you. What I'm going to do though is break it down and give you the details of the smaller collections that we've got. Let's start off with the embossing collection. So in the embossing collection you are going to get the musical notes and the traditional window embossing folders in there, 11.18 or 13.93 if you want to get that. We then have the die collection available to you. You've got pine tree edge, music and swirls, festive foliage and decorative frame in there, 34.27 or 40.46. Then there's a stamp and die collection for you as well, and within the stamp and die collection you're going to get Happy Christmas to All. You will also get Stockings by the Fire, Christmas Eve, St Nicholas, Build a Stocking and Build a Sleigh. That's 34.95 or 43.19. And then you've got your embellishments. So you're going to get your mixed ribbon, your jingle bells, your gold twine and your festive embellishments. That's 19.57 or 25.76. If you want to get the 6x6 pad on its own, you can. That is still available. 5.99 or 9.95. And not in the collection, but you might want to get your hands on it. 14.99 or 19.95. The pearlescent cast. I'll show you it live because it is absolutely gorgeous. I love this Karamat gold. That's what I'm calling it. It was like that golden chocolate that you had the other week, Craig, in our Facebook Live. But again, you've got that lovely pop of Christmas red in there, and it's that beautiful green, and this blue is just so sumptuous. Like I'm going to call it Prussian blue. That's what I'm calling it. That's available on its own. I'll just remind you of the details of the paper pad on its own individually. But you get 24 pages in here, which is excellent. That's 250 GSM, so a great all-round weight for you. 14.99 or 19.95. Now, something else I need to tell you about, always so popular whenever we bring these to you, is our colour blend pencils. Now, these are incredible. They are on a half-price deal for you. Let me just grab the board so you can see exactly what you are receiving in here. So you are going to get, it's a full collection on these, so they come to you in these beautiful tins, which is amazing. 24 pencils in each. They are artist quality blendable wax pencils, so you get 120 pencils in total, and within here what you'll receive is you'll get the florals, really gorgeous bright pops of colour in there. You've got the essentials, you will also get the naturals, then you've got the primaries and the shades and tones in there as well. And when you see the kind of difference that they make to your colouring, yes, you can use them on their own as individual, just pencil projects, but if you've got something like your alcohol markers, they are so good at intensifying and accentuating those alcohol marker products. So you can see without and then with, it just adds so much depth to your projects. Or you can use them on their own. I just really love how intense they are, and they give it a really lovely shine. It's that gorgeous wax, pigmented wax that you've got within there. Now I'm just going to give you a little bit more chance to get yourself caught up, so whilst you do that, here's how to watch and also all the details of Club Inspire.
Hi, I'm Sara from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home, where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easy to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Absolutely. Make sure you get yourself signed up for Club Inspire. Right, Craig, I think if you are ready for the next step, it seems everyone else is pretty much good to go. I've got no questions or any recaps needed, so I think everyone's keeping up.
Yeah, perfect. So other than the poinsettia to decorate, which we'll do just shortly, we'll pretty much now start to finish our cracker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with our box of ribbon here, and I've just gone straight in with a full box because I'll need it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the tartan ribbon, and we are, to make it so easy and easy for us to tie, we're going to need the full lot. So let's take the full lot. So there is our tartan. I'm going to go in with my scissors that I use for my ribbon. I'm folding it in half, and then I'm going to cut it. So we've got two that are exactly the same length. So let's sit them out the way for a second. And then I'm going to go back in with my red liner tape, just the same one that is your 6mm one that I'm using. And then on one of the, any of them, I'm going to go all the way along the bottom of my cracker. So I'm going all the way along with my red liner tape. So I'm going to press to really make sure that's nice and secure. And then this is where, by us shaping it, it's going to really help it come together. So what we can do at this point is we can then take that off, and then we're going to start to fold it over. Now you might, I don't know, maybe use the bottom of your stomach or your table or something.
The bottom of your stomach?
Well, like the bottom of your stomach, if you're standing anyway, like I am, like the bottom of your stomach, just to hold
Mine's a bit
it
squishy for that.
to hold it into place, or whatever you find easier at this point. Maybe you've got little pegs or something. But what I'm going to do is, this is where I've got my line of adhesive. So I'm going to come over with this side. I'm going to cross it over just enough to cover my red liner tape. And then I'm going to press. I'm going to hold it in. I like to go straight to the other end, Joe, and go there and attach. And then I come in to the middle. And then I press, manoeuvring it into place. If you find you've got a little bit where the triangle catches over, don't worry, because this will be folded in so it won't be seen. And then what I like to do is I'll go in with my ruler or a bottle that's, a thin bottle or something that we can then come along and really press down and secure that cracker. If you're doing that, just watch that you don't catch any of the engraves of the diamonds, but we're going to press that in. And then once that's nice and secure, you'll have your round cracker. You can help it again at this point by giving it a little roll. You were saying a moment ago someone was using their water bottle.
Yeah, it was the lovely Lynn Harvey said she was using it to shape it initially when you talked about that.
So yeah, anything like that would have been a good way to help shape
It's amazing how it really does go into that nice round shape though.
It does, yeah. And that is the helping hand of the diamonds.
Okay.
Because what will happen is that pulls in, and anyone that is familiar with crackers will see, oh my gosh, there is a cracker.
How fabulous.
How fabulous is that? So then what we're going to do is I'm going to go in, so with one stream of the ribbon. What I like to do is have it so that the seam is down the back here. And then all that I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over and tie it like you would tie anything.
Oh, so we don't need to weave it. In my head we were going to weave it through for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Nope. And then by pulling, you can see that it pulls the diamonds in. You will have a round aperture. That's not going to completely close. That,
Okay.
you know, that won't happen. It's not the point of it. But give it a slight little tug so that it doesn't like tear, anything like that. So you just want to make sure it's nice and taut. So I've done a little fold over, and then what I can do is just do a good old normal bow.
Just for reference, Craig, on that other piece of ribbon, would you mind letting people know how long the ribbon was
Yeah,
you
of course
used?
I can. So let's take this one in. So I'm going to get that to a nice way that I want it. So I'm going to make sure the loops are nice and opened. Let's get it in a nice way. Once I'm happy, which I am, and because we've done this bow, Joe, what it means is bojo. Oh gosh.
What's
bojo.
that?
I said
The
because
bojo?
we've done this bojo.
Not
Not
Bojo as in
Bojo,
Boris
it's
Johnson.
no.
Right.
What that means is, of course, it might be a bit too early for you to pop a gift in. You know, it's still only August, so at least then you can untie it near Christmas, pop a little gift in, and then give it to the recipient. But at a little angle, I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to cut. I'm going to do the same at this side. So just in case anyone is wondering, roughly the size. So it was the full length of the tartan ribbon, and I chopped it in half, but it is, so that is 18. So let's say 20 inches in total.
Perfect.
So if you are using another ribbon, then let's say 20 inches in total. And then what I'm going to do the same at this bit, Joe, is I'm going to fold this around, and then I'm going to tie it. So let's get it so that the bow is going to be situated. Let's do it this way so you can see from up above. So I'm going to have the bow facing the right way. I'm going to pull the straps just so that I know it's not going to go any further. Not too hard because I don't want to break the diamonds. And then what we can do is do a little hand-tied bow. Pull this one in together. So we can then get this nicely situated, nicely placed. Let's pull them ones out. Let's pull them ones out. And then once you're happy, I'm going to go in once again at an angle. I'm going to straighten that and there. And then there is our cracker. And then the last and by no means least part that we're going to do before we do the poinsettia is I'm going to go in with the red liner tape as well. I like to assemble my cracker before I do the part I'm away to do now. And that is, I'm going to go in with my red liner tape. Now what I'm going to do is see where the seam, the edge of this cracker is. I'm going to start very roughly, maybe about an inch before it. And then I'm going to cross over, and then I'm going to work my way all the way around. So I'm doing it right at the edge of the cracker. If you do have maybe a millimetre or so left over from the edge, like the green card, again, don't worry.
Teresa was just asking, can Craig go over again where the red liner goes? I think the original bit of red liner, it went down the longest edge, didn't it, of your card, Craig?
It did, yeah, down the longest edge of the cardstock or the cracker so that you're able to assemble that seam down the back. And then on the opposite side, I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to cross over maybe about an inch. And by doing that, what that also does, Joe, is that gives it extra security by holding these two bits together. It's red liner tape, so that is uber strong. But you know, we do like to give it a little bit of a helping hand. So I'm working my way all the way around till I get to the end. Let's snip that one off. So once again, red liner tape all the way around both edges of our cracker. And then what we can do is let's go back in with my ribbon. I'm going to use green for this one because that's what I used within my finished sample. But if you want to use the red, then by all means feel free to. So let's undo this one. And then what we can do is let's find the starting point. And then I'm going to take that off. Let's take our ribbon. I'm going to start that off and right up against the edge of the cracker. So as far as I can go, I'm going to run my ribbon all the way round. So we're going to carry it all the way round, fall knot off, and that gives us an extra textured edge. So what I'm then going to do, using my ribbon, scissors, I'm going to snip these. I'm going to do it so that I've got a nice clean cut edge that meets up to the edge, and then press that in, make it secure, and then we'll do that once again, and then that will be us finished our cracker. And then we've just got the decoration of the poinsettia and the box to do.
They do come together very quickly. Casey Mum says everyone's going to be getting crackers this year. Eleanor says, I love how the cracker came out. I can't wait to do them. I know I'm going to have fun making these. Eve B saying that's beautiful. And Elaine saying how much they love the way that this is coming together.
Do you know what I'll do as well? I know there doesn't seem to be any issues or questions with that first part, with the diamonds. But what I will do, I have no shows over the weekend. So at home, I will film maybe just a 5-10 minute video of redoing the diamonds. So if you are going to do them at a later date, maybe you didn't quite understand what I was saying in the measurement part, what I'll do is I'll redo a video over the weekend, pop it on my Facebook and Instagram. So if you are doing it at a later date, you want to come back, you've got an extra helping hand, as well as this show always on YouTube. I'll do that for you as well.
Excellent,
I know
Craig.
that bit is just a little bit of a time consuming bit. But there we go, Joe. We've got our ribbon all the way around. That is our cracker. It's finished, other than the decoration. But there we go. And something, as you said, looked quite complicated to start with, but it's actually surprising how lovely and how quick it can come together.
Amazing. So awesome. We are going to take a little short break there, give you a chance to catch up. I'm just going to go back through and remind you that if you don't yet have your hands on the collection, it is available for you today. That we do have a collection available. I'm going to run back through what that is. $99.97 or $123.34, a great saving of over £90 or over $120, which is awesome. And in there you'll receive the festive foliage, which is this beautiful, beautiful floral die set. I love the fact that you've got so much embossed texture in there as well. You've got the musical notes embossing folder, and this is going to be great for all year round as well as Christmas. I think you'll find lots of places to use this in your everyday projects. You've got Stockings by the Fire, which is that beautiful stamp set right there, gorgeous tree, the stockings, the bell. Then we have this one here, which is your traditional window. We then also have Build a Stocking, which is awesome. Again, you've got all the different individual elements that there that you need to customize your stockings. This one here is your Build a Sleigh, and again, perfect for creating awesome scenes using the stamps and the dies. Then this is your St. Nicholas. Really love that playful image of St. Nick there. You've then got Christmas Eve, got a real Dickensian vibe to it, this particular stamp set. We've then got some edgeables in here. So you've got the Music and Squirrels, or Swirls. You also then have as well your Pine Tree Edge. And you've got this one here, which is your Happy Christmas to All. That one there has got this gorgeous script in with a little poem all about the reindeers, which I think is adorable. We then have as well this one. Now this is kind of like a create card, bit of a different size for us. I think it's going to be awesome for tags. This in particular, it's upside down, there we go. That's your decorative frame. I think we've really knocked it out of the park when it comes to the embellishments on this collection as well. You've got your berries here, which are awesome. You've got your jingle bells in here. Then you've also got the bows, really lovely. I love that you've got the sort of velvet ones and that lovely tartan one. And you're also going to receive the gold twine, which is in there. That's going to come to you. And you've got the 6x6 paper pad in here as well, which is fantastic. Really lovely. Very traditional, I think, this particular collection, which is why so many of you have loved it. You've got really lovely accent foiling throughout there as well. It's going to really tie that collection together beautifully. A brilliant saving for everyone, as I said, but Platinum members, less than £80, under $100, which is fantastic value for money. Right, I will tidy that up in a moment. Let me bring this in for you, because we've got a great adhesive collection for you on the show, and you're getting two of some of our hero products. So you're going to get a duo of the tacky glue, which is great. Craig was saying you could use this instead of the red liner if you so wish. You're going to get a duo of the all-purpose, and then you are getting two of the chunky glue, one one with the tools and one without. A really brilliant collection there. $15.60 or $28 for Platinum members if you'd like to go on that one. Some questions about the cracker, Craig. Yes. Will a gift card fit inside it? That's from Georgianne.
It will do indeed, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you open it once you give it?
So you would just untie it.
You just untie the end and then drop it out.
Yep.
If you were going to batch make the crackers, could you make a template for it for using your first one and then use that to cut around? Did I say something funny then?
No.
Okay. Are you sure? Yeah.
That was my template.
Okay.
But obviously, it's no point me doing this live in the craft along because I need to show you how to do it.
Yeah.
But while I've done my one, I've made myself a template as well, so that going forward, if I go and make these for Christmas, because trust me, I was so chuffed with the way that these looked, that I've made myself a template. So that, if there's anything, if you're going to make more, Joe, highly recommend and suggest, yeah, make yourself a template.
Yeah,
Good
really
idea.
great idea there, Debbie. I tell you what, should we drop in on Pam, see how Pam is getting on across in New York? She's got a furry friend with her as well.
Oh my
How are you getting on,
gosh.
Pam?
I'm doing great. I'm all caught up. And
Oh,
George
awesome.
is whining at my feet, so I brought him up so that he could say hi.
What's his
there he
name?
goes.
Oh, there
Now
he
I'm over
goes.
here.
What's his name?
George.
Oh, George. Is he a beagle?
He is a basset hound.
He's a basset hound. Oh, how gorgeous. So you're following along, instructions all good so far?
Yep, all done.
Oh, brilliant.
Excellent, that looks gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really awesome. Have you made anything like this before, Pam?
I did make a box Christmas cracker from one of the Ultimate Pro templates.
Oh, yeah.
I made that when I first got this collection. So, yeah.
Awesome. Right, well, I can't wait to see how it gets on, how it transpires. We're dropping on you again really soon, Pam. Rhonda says the cracker would be an interesting way to propose. Ooh. Georgina says no, thank you. We don't know who's proposing yet, Georgina. Oh, she's speechless.
Oh.
How long we worked together for, Georgina? Well, a few years, like here and elsewhere. I've never known her speechless. A question from me. This is from our social media superstar, Rachel. Could you add the bang strips to them and make them actual working crackers?
You absolutely can do.
Would you have to perforate it somehow though, Craig? Or do you think if you just pulled hard enough it would open?
If you pull what we've actually physically made, if you pull it hard enough, it's going to work, because if I bring the template in as well, what you've got is, because you've got your flexible fibres here, if you pull it, you will maybe need not grip it too hard, but you will need to grip the ends. But if you pull that hard enough, that is going to it's going to pull apart. So yeah, what you would then do is attach the little snapper, the banger inside. What I would suggest is, if you do put the little banger in, because I know certainly here in the UK you can get them. You can get them. Would you stick the popper in the whatever we're calling it? Would you stick that in where you stuck the red liner in, or would you leave it sort of loose on the inside? What I would do, Joe, this is a good way to show you if you have or you do want to do it. Let's do a little strip and let's pretend it's actually the snapper, because of course we don't have one here. So what I'm going to do is let's use a slither of our pearl card. So I am literally going to do it a long slither to pretend that this is the little snapper here. So I'm going to make it a bit shorter so it's more real to size. And I'm glad actually Rachel's asked that, because if you do go and include it, you do actually have to pop it in at a specific time. And that is, if you were to pop the snapper in before you pull it together, before you assemble it, what's going to happen then is it's not actually going to be long enough. Now what I mean by that is, get it so that you are at this point here. Then what to do is pop the snapper in, make sure that you can see that it is protruding out each edge. Then what I do, because not this year so far, but I did make some last year with a cracker kit, a little bit of tacky glue or red liner tape, just to hold that into place where my finger is. Hold that in that side there, that's going to be golden, that's going to be good to go. So when you pull it, you've got that flexibility within the diamonds, but you will get that snapper aspect when it comes to that middle. So really glad that that actually came up. Of course, I know they're not, with things like that, there's health and safety, you know, when you're in the workplace. So we couldn't have one here, but I know that you do get them in stores and craft stores. So if you do want to put your own one in, that's how you would do it.
Excellent. Right, well, that concludes the questions, Craig. I think everyone's pretty much good to go if you are.
Fab. Let's go for it. Let's go for it now. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the poinsettia for the cracker. So we're going to need our festive foliage poinsettia sets. And then what we're going to do is the poinsettia for the box is going to be a big poinsettia. This one for the cracker is slightly smaller. So for the actual poinsettia petals, we're not going to use the large one. So that's the large one. We don't want that one. We want the medium one, and then we want the small one for our poinsettia. Then what we want is we want the leaf die, and we want the holly die, and then we also want the foliage die, and then we also want this tiny little diddy one, the centre of the poinsettia. So that's the ones that we want. If you wanted to include more, you can do. That's up to yourself. And then what I'm going to do at this point, Joe, is I'm going to go in with some more cardstock from the 12 by 12, which of course is the green, and it is of course the red. I've not brought in a full sheet of gold luxury card, but I've taken in some of our gold luxury card that we've got here. So then what we can do is we can then, let's take a red to start with. I'm going to snip little panels, and then what we're going to do is we can assemble them onto the green. We can then take a couple of strips, them of the red, them onto the green. So if we take the leaf, let's take the holly, and then let's go in with our gold, where we're going to do the foliage. We're going to run them through our Gemini. We're going to do that. You ready for this? We're ready to do this 5 times. So
5 times?
5 times we're ready to do this one. So we want to create that little bit of
Do you want me
depth.
to keep count? Are you going to be okay?
No, we're okay. We're okay. Because what we're going to do, although we're doing 2 poinsettias, we are, of course, going to layer one on top of the other. I was actually just a way to use the mini there for speed, and then I thought, well, that's not the point of the craft along. You might not have the mini. Might be the Gemini that you've got. So let's go in with our red liner tape, and we're going to cut these ones out. So I'm going to secure them there, up at the top. I'm not going to cut all my cardstock down because I'm going to reuse all the excess bits. So let's pop these ones in. So these parts here, we only need to cut a couple. I'm going to put them on. We're going to line and layer this one up. And you'll actually be surprised actually how quick the remaining of the project goes, because the next part, once we've done this bit, is by simply making the box, and it's a couple of mats and layers, and then before you know it, we'll have done this full project.
How fabulous, Craig.
It's amazing how it comes together really quickly. So we're taking these ones, and that one. So still with the exact same cardstock, what we're going to do is we're going to die cut it again. The only difference is, Joe, I don't need this tiny little one. We only need one of them. Can I fit one more in? Yes, I can. So let's go in.
Oh, that's a top tip, Craig, because you've taken them together, you can just pick it up and move them again.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's really good.
Pick them up, move them, and then it just makes it that little bit quicker. Running them ones through.
This is not our only show together today. We do also have Cartload coming your way. Don't forget, 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. If you are across on the East Coast. And that'll be 11 a.m. West Coast, and we've got loads of great deals. Some really good festive deals in that one as well, Craig, isn't there?
We do, yeah, quite a few festive deals. Couple of all occasion items that we picked up on Wake Up Call, like the layering die. So if maybe it's not full on Christmas year after, we do have a few other things, but yeah, we've got really good set of products coming up on cartload tonight, don't we?
Rebecca is organised. She says, I already had all my petals pre-cut out. So she's just
Great.
putting her feet up for a moment, Craig.
Good on you.
Well, I mean,
Good on you.
how fabulous.
Yeah, why not? I like how you have seen the picture online and thought, okay, there's a couple of bits I'm going to have to repeat. So you've got ahead and you've got it done. Well done, you. To be fair, it's the sort of thing I would do, Joe. Here we are. Here we are. Running this one through it again. Running it through. Now, of course, usually when I say a normal show that we do, one that's not a craft along, we have all these layers die cut out. But if I'd done that, I'm going to be finished my poinsettia well before you have.
Absolutely.
So if you are new to a craft along and wondering, oh my God, he really is taking his time, it's so that we can, or you can, hence naming the title, craft along with us. So let's take these bits out. So let's take that one. We'll do a couple more, Joe, and then we can assemble our poinsettia together. Take our green and our red, layering them up. If you redo these at home, if you make more crackers, what you could do as well is run them through afterwards with your embossing mat.
Okay.
And then what you will then do is you will get a little bit extra depth when it comes to the embossed detail.
There's lots of lovely open spaces, isn't there, on those dies? Is that what
There
that's
is.
for, Craig?
It is, yeah. It's actually, where that used to saying embossed detail, it actually gives you, the way the die is, it looks as though it's debossed. It actually comes through emboss onto your cardstock. It's always worthwhile running it through with your embossing mat. But on the other hand, you know, for a craft along, I have to be wary of time. And that's just one element. As much as I would love to do, can you imagine doing this another 5 times by embossing it? A little bit too time consuming. So we'll still get a lovely effect by using the Gilding Wax. But we've just eliminated this step.
Tomorrow as well, very interesting day. I know we are back tomorrow together, aren't we? Wake up call, Craig. The Craft Factor rolls along tomorrow, which is really exciting. Another one of you guys will be joining us. Remember, you can get involved. It's definitely not too late. If you'd like the chance to appear on air with us here at Crafters TV, then you can get involved. In fact, we'll give you the details of that a little bit later in the show. So you can send to us. So if you want to be involved in the Craft Factor, then it's not that particular address, I don't think. I think it's studio at Crafters TV. I've got some details. I'll share it with you in the next break. But there is the opportunity for you to come and join us live on air here on Crafters TV. Very exciting. Tomorrow it's the chance of, it's the turn of Karen's going to be joining us tomorrow, Craig, which is going to be awesome.
Really looking forward to loving the craft factors each week. It's so nice. And it's so nice to see you guys actually here and actually have the opportunity to do a bit of crafting live. Nice to see that. And I know that you guys love seeing it.
It's Karen Good who is joining us tomorrow. Did you want to just quickly give, shall I just quickly give those details, Craig?
By all means, yeah, as you can see here, that's me finished my die cutting, so I'm not going to do anything much at the moment. Set them to the side, so if you want to go over those details,
absolutely.
please do.
So here they are. If you want to audition on the Craft Factor, then absolutely, it's not too late. A chance to come on Crafters TV Live, submit a short video about yourself, 4 to 5 photos of the cards you have made, and email it to us, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. We'll be doing it every single Friday. So we would love to have as many of you come to the studio and join us as possible. Yes, make sure you join myself and Craig for that tomorrow, midday here in the UK, 7 AM East Coast time, 4 AM West Coast. I can't wait. It's the 3rd instalment, Craig.
It is, I know, the 3rd one. So it's the 2nd one for me, because the first week I was on a little break and Debbie Fisher stepped in for me. Yeah, was it you and Debbie that
It was
day?
myself and Debbie, yes.
So last week was the first week for me to be part, and yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. I say be part of it, it's not as if I do anything.
You get to have a little sit down.
I
It's
get
lovely.
to have a little sit down, yeah, that bit I did enjoy. Really enjoyed that one.
We're like the Phil and Fern.
Gosh, that's going back a few years, isn't it?
I like Fern. She was my favourite.
See, I like Fern. I still like Fern. Fern Britton.
Apparently they don't get on. I mean, I couldn't comment, but I was reading an article about it the other day, Craig.
I know, I've heard that as well.
Does she get a mention in his book?
Yeah. She got a mention in his book.
Yeah.
He picked up. She has an autobiography, but it was out good. I think hers came out when they were still a TV duo.
Yeah.
But he does mention her in his book.
Oh, in a controversial kind of way, or?
Yeah.
I really feel like I think I might want to listen to it now. You know.
Yeah, I think you should.
I think I might give it a go.
I think you should. It's
I
an
need a new
interesting
audio
one.
book at the moment as well, so maybe I'll give it a go.
That's what I ended up doing with my one, obviously, because we know I'm a Fies. They were TV presenter duo.
They
here
were a
in the
power
UK.
couple,
They
a bit
were.
like you and I, Craig.
Exactly.
But of morning TV.
Yeah,
And then I don't know what happened, but yeah, I think they had a bit of a falling out. Now it's Holly and Phil.
it is.
There we are.
Which I do really like them. But yeah, there was just something about Phil and Fern. Great team together. But yeah, what I know from the book, I'll tell you after the show.
Fabulous, can't wait.
So now that I've got all these bits, so what I've got is for the poinsettia, I've got 5 of the smaller ones and 5 of the medium ones. Then I've also got 5 of the holly, I've got 5 of the leaves, 1 of the centre, and I've got 5 of the foliage here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with our King Gold with the Gilding Wax here. And I'm going to lightly dab some off on my finger. And then within the poinsettias, I'm going to go in. I'm going to hold the base and very lightly I'm going to touch upon the top. It's not going to be fully detailed wax over the top because we haven't gone through with the embossing mat. In saying that, you still see the veins from the petal. So that's why I'm doing it lightly. So every now and again, I'm just picking some of the excess up into my finger and I'm working my way along. So picking these bits up. When it comes to the holly, the leaves and the foliage, I might not use all 5. But the ones that we don't use, I can then use on the last poinsettia that we do for the box. So it won't go to waste. I'm going to put a little bit into here. I'm not worried about not getting any wax at the base of the poinsettia petal because that's going to be covered up once we lay it together, Joe. So it doesn't matter if you don't cover it all. But add in the wax. It's King Gold I'm using. You can change it if you want, or not even use some if you don't want to. The power is in your hand.
Absolutely. I mean, with these craft alongs, I mean, you're probably giving people, you know, the main framework and the idea, but I guess you could change this up. You know, you could change the papers that you use, you could change the colour scheme. You really, once you've mastered the kind of structure of it, it's easy for you to put your own spin on it then. And often, you know, when people send us in pictures of the completed craft alongs, that's what a lot of people do, isn't it, Craig? You know, put their own spin on it.
It is, yeah. Can you imagine, by following the exact instructions I've been giving you, bet you've maybe used the gnome collection.
Nice,
Can
you get something
how that
totally
would
different.
Look completely different, but you will still get that same finished result, different design, but same finished result of a cracker by following the exact same measurements, step by step that I've done, and you're going to get something that is completely different. So yeah, give it a shot, see what you can come up with. Actually, I'm thinking the gnomes, that would be a good one, you know, for maybe kiddies or something if you wanted to. Little kiddie crackers. So carrying on into the holly and now the leaves.
Alison has managed to order some cracker snaps online. She says, I can't wait to make these now. She just found some online and got them ordered, so she's going to be putting the cracker snaps in as well. Great idea. She's thinking miniature bottles of drink inside as well. Love that.
Yeah, and yeah, that would, actually that's
Little
a
drinks minis.
really good point, Joe. So the centre tube of the cracker, it's 4 inches, and then at least the diameter, so let's make at least 2 3/4. So 2 3/4 by 4 inches. So you got something like that that's going to fit in there, no problem at all. You're going to be good. You're going to be golden.
Amazing.
So now that we've done them, what I'm going to do is using my fingers, I'm just shaping them very quickly. If you wanted to use a flower tool, ball tool or that, again, you can. But what I was also wary of, Joe, is I didn't want to bog down the project with lots of different tools, you know, ball tools and shape tools to create dimension. Thought, let's keep it as minimum as we can, and when it comes to the shaping, what we can do is use our fingers. So for the poinsettia, well, basically for all of them, I'm holding the base of the poinsettia, holding the top, and I'm just pulling it up, so we create that little shape there. I'm going to do that with all of them. I've got my hot glue gun on, and hot glue, or the glue for the cracker. Another example of at home, I would be using my chunky glue, my glue gel, but to have it instantly stick in so that we can move it and show it, I'm going to use my hot glue. So you decide. I know you've got your glue gel at home and your hot glue, so you can decide.
Rosalind says, I have a winter wedding to make decorations for. Going to make some of these with mirror and glitter card and then use snowflakes instead of flowers. Lovely way of doing it.
Lovely.
Kelly Grant says, do y'all only use crackers at Christmas or do you use them other times during the year as well? I'd say just Christmas, wouldn't you, Craig?
I'd say just Christmas. Couple of years ago, what I done is, we can't, here in the UK, we can get cracker making sets, you know, but it's all done for you. But what I've done is I decorated one in the past, pinks, for my friend who had a baby girl.
Right.
So once again, if you take maybe some, actually very quickly, could you imagine, Joe, if you made this cracker out of something like our everyday celebration paper pad? Maybe do it and theme it so it's for a baby girl or a baby boy. Use any of your 12 by 12s. I've given you the measurements and the instructions how to do it. You can make whatever style you want. So I have in the past done one for a baby girl, so that's a good idea. But what I've done here to make the poinsettia a lot easier, instead of assembling it pretty much in mid-air, what I've done is I've cut a little square, a little bit of a scrap. It's not going to be seen, so don't worry about it being specific. And then what I'm going to do is, on at least one of them anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of hot glue and I'm going to pop it onto that cardstock. So this is the larger of the two petals that I'm using, and I'm going to work my way around, getting it into place. And this is where I'm using the hot glue gun so that it is instant. And then I like to do it so that I've got 1, 2, and then 3. So we've got a little bit of a triangle going. And then I'm going to go in with the next one, crossing it over. Now I have, with all the years of using hot glue, I've kind of got an asbestos finger. So do be careful. If you want to use a ponytail, you can. But I'm using my finger.
I was just looking into the history of crackers, Craig, and it's really interesting.
Is it?
So Christmas crackers are a traditional Christmas favourite in the UK. They were first made in about 1845 to 1850 by a London sweet maker called Tom Smith. He had seen French bonbon sweets, almonds wrapped in paper, on a visit to Paris in 1840. He came back to London, tried selling sweets like that in England, and also included a small motto or riddle in the sweet, but they didn't sell very well. And then in 1861, Tom Smith launched his new range of what he called bangs of expectation, is what he called them. A legend says that one night while he was sitting in front of a log fire, he became very interested by the sparks and cracks coming from the fire. Suddenly thought it would be a fun idea if his sweets and toys could be opened with a crack when their fancy wrapper was pulled. However, looking into the history of the Tom Smith Company, it's thought that Tom actually bought the recipe for the small cracks and bangs in crackers from a fireworks company called Brock's Fireworks. The story of him sitting by the fire was probably added to help him sell his new items. How fabulous.
So that's why there is a range of Tom Smith crackers each year.
Oh, is there?
There's a range of Tom Smith crackers.
Oh, there you go. Where as in...
Inexpensive crackers.
Right.
But yeah, Tom Smith crackers.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. There you go.
There we go. The things you'll
Every
learn.
day is a school day. Lynn Harvey says, a friend of mine had crackers at a wedding. There we are.
There you are.
But also, we call, what is it you guys call them? You know, we have crackers with cheese.
Yes.
They're called something else in the States, aren't they?
Is it biscuit?
But they're called
No,
graham
that's
crackers. Oh, they're still
graham
called crackers.
yeah.
There we go.
Graham crackers. think graham crackers are like crackers.
Yeah, like crackers.
Food
We have like
crackers.
digestive crackers, don't we, as
Yeah.
well for cheese as well. I don't know which ones they are.
I do. So look at that. By layering them up, Joe, we've started to create our own poinsettia.
Beautiful.
Tucked them in. I've used the leaves, tucked them onto the back. Then what I'm going to do is, before I do these last little bits, I'm going to bring in my cracker. This is what I mean by don't worry about the back because you're not going to see it. So I'm going to sit that one into the middle. So let's pop that one here. And then I'm going to use just a couple of the holly. So I'm going to do one, actually let's do it, let's just add the glue in the back so that we can tuck it in. So I'm going to do one of the holly at the top left hand side, and I'm going to do one at the bottom right, so we can tuck that one in there. These are the ones I'll use later on. And then I'm going to take 2 each of the foliage die. So I'm going to tuck that one in, and then I'm going to tuck this one in. These you could have shaped as well if you wanted to, but I'm putting them straight in. We're going to do this one. And then all that we need to do is pop the centre in, and then that's going to be our cracker done. I just pop in another bit. Very quick tip for you, if you need to put your hot glue in, what to do is melt the end with the end of your glue gun.
Right.
And then tuck it in, and then therefore it's going to stick to that base layer, and it's not going to fall out. So let's do that one here, into there, and then I'm going to put tiny, tiny little bit. I'm going to literally shape it with my finger. I'm going to pop that one there, and to finish the cracker, what I do have, Joe, is I've got a little gem, or a little pearl, and I'm going to use, once again, I'm going to go with my tacky glue for this, simply because if I try and put a tiny bit of hot glue in the middle there, I probably will burn myself. So I'm going to go in with one pearl, just a clear pearl from Hunky Dory. Pop that one in. And then that is going to at least be our cracker that you can see here.
That's gorgeous. Really love that.
There is our cracker. Gorgeously nice, nicely done. And that is the Christmas cracker, gift cracker, that one's been completed.
Awesome. Absolutely love that. Did you want a quick break whilst we get ready for the box, which is awesome? Graham crackers are a sweet flavoured cracker, usually with honey or cinnamon flavours in them. There we are. That's what our social media superstar is, the lovely Rachel. Just let me know. Will Craig post measurements for this afterwards, is what Michelle is asking.
Absolutely, I will do. Kind of going back on saying that I'll do a short video for the triangles. We'll do the measurements as well for you. I've actually got them all written up and they're actually on my laptop. So I'll make sure that I print them and then I will post them on the social media, 100%.
There you are. I hope that helps. Right, I want to share with you a couple of other items that are in the show. Remember, you can go for the Twas and Night collection as it is. That whole collection, details out on your screen. Best way to get the best value, because look at the saving. It's not far off of a half price deal when you get it like that. It's actually less than half price for most Club Inspire members as well. But if you did want to go for some smaller collections, and we've got those available for you as well, you can go for the Embossing Collection, which is this one here, $11.18 or $13.93, gets you the 2 embossing folders there. We then have the Metal Die Collection as well. So you've got the 2 edgeables, you've got the frame, and you've got the floral dies in there, $34.27 or $40.46. We then have a stamp and die collection, 6 sets of stamp and dies. Those that builder sleigh and builder stocking, they are really big substantial dies as well. $34.95, $43.19 is your price there. We then have the embellishments. Now, I would say even if you're going for the large collection, I would be adding an extra embellishment collection, at least one into your basket, because I know you're going to make so many cards with this, you're going to fly through it. $19.57 or $25.76 gets you the bells, the ribbon, the twine, and all of those beautiful pine cones and berries in there too. There is a 6x6 paper pad available for you. It's this one here. It's $5.99 or $9.95. And then we also have the 12 by 12 pearlescent card pad available as well. 24 sheets in here, really, really gorgeous colours within there, and brilliant quality. It's got a really lovely shine to it, which is excellent. Now, let me share with you. I want to go through the sparkle pens that we have got available for you. These are them in their new configuration. Same great quality, same great delivery system, same awesome colours, just reconfigured in different packaging here for you. So you've got the 3 of the clear overlay. And the clear overlay is great because it can enable you to add that sparkle to pretty much anything, which is awesome. We then have the Earthy Naturals, and in here you're going to get the Holly Leaf, the Smoke Quartz, and the Harvest Moon. This one here is your antique vintage, and in there you're going to get fig, peacock blue, and macaron. You can see here an indication of the colours that you're going to get in there. You've got the soft pastels, that gives you the rose quartz, soft jade, and the moonstone. The tint and tone, which is one of my faves, you're going to get the crystal clear, the starry sky, and the onyx black. The black is so intensely pigmented. And then this one here is your essential brights, that gives you aquamarine, pink garnet, and the Firefly as well. It's an 18-piece collection, $64.95 or $84.75. Essentially, you're getting one of the packs free there when you get them in that particular configuration. Right, we're going to move on. We're going to show you the gilding waxes. I don't have them here in the studio with me, so I will share these with you. You saw Craig using the King Gold there a moment ago, $8.99 or $12.74. Here it is for you, 30ml pot, as you can see there, and that will last you so long. We then also have the antique gold available as well. Here it is, same price across all of these. You've got Empire Gold, or you can go for Renaissance Gold, and the silver. Those are your options, $8.99 or $12.74, just over £7 or $10 if you are a platinum member. Do you add jingle bells to the ribbon tied around the cracker, asked Sarah. I guess there's no reason why you couldn't add the jingle bells if you wanted to, Craig.
Yeah, the plan is if we get time at the end, we're going to do that. So
okay,
that's
awesome.
The plan.
There
Absolutely.
we are. Alison says, absolutely brilliant, Craig. Definitely will be making these. Thank you so much for all of the amazing demonstrations. And Jeffrey says, great tip on the glue stick. Craig will be using that one for sure. Right, I guess it's all about the box now then, is it, Craig?
It is indeed. So what we're going to do is then if we go over into, we're going to take our large piece of cardstock. So this is what we are going to be using. So we need to come in with our guillotine. So using this full size, this full length, what we want to do is on the long length, we want to then at least take an inch off. So if you can see here how our cardstock is a little bit too big for our guillotine, what we can then do is we can come in. So once again, let's bring in our trusty pencil. I'm going to come in with my my glass mat, and all that I've done is I've just done a pencil line at the 1 inch mark. So what I can do is bring in our guillotine in and then snipping this bit off. And this is why Joe at the start of the show was saying it needs to be A3, because that is now pretty much the full size that we're going to be using to create the box. So what I'm then going to do is, where have I popped my scoreboard? So we're going to go in with our scoreboard that you can see here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm purposely using the small one to show that you can be using the small one if you want to. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to this left-hand side of our scoreboard. So we can see, so on the short side, as I would say, we're going to go right up against the left-hand side. So then what we can do is we can then score, sorry Joe, the long side that I need to do.
The long side, yeah.
So the long side. So I'm going to score at the 1 inch mark. So I'm going to score. Now it's the score master, so I'm going to go as far as I can go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it up, still up against the edge, and I'm going to continue all the way down.
Excellent.
So if you don't have a larger scoreboard, works exactly the same if you've got the A4 one. Do exactly what I've done there. Score as far as you can go, move it up, you're golden.
Fabulous.
I keep saying you're golden.
I like that term.
You're golden. Yeah, I've said it
golden,
about 3 or 4 times today alone.
Wowzers, I haven't said wowzers trousers in this hour. I don't know. It's
You
my new-
haven't? No, you've not.
I don't know where I've picked that up from.
So opposite side, at the 1 inch mark again, and then we moved it all the way down. So we've got our 1 inch that you can see all the way along there. So we are good to go. Then what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on itself, that you can see here. So what we can then do along the long side, we're going to be scoring at 3.5 inches. So let's bring this one down. I'm trying to get my head in because of the glare again. So we're going to score at 3.5 inches that we can see here. So score, I'm going to go as far as I can go. In actual fact, I can go all the way down, just and no more. So score. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go in to, once again, let's put my head in the way, 7 inch mark. And then we are going to score. So I'm doing it a few times. And then what I'm doing is I'm doing it lightly. Then at this point, what I'm going to do, Joe, is I'm going to fold. I'm going to fold back on itself here.
Yep.
I'm not going to burnish it at the moment, but what I am going to do is butt that up against the left-hand side. And we are going to make that so it's nice and secure. And then once I'm happy, that's right up against the edge, I want to make sure that that is good. What I can do is hold that one into place. So then that means we've got that right up against the edge. And then what we can do is we can then do that again. So 3.5 inches and then 7 inches. And this will be a lot easier with the large scoreboard, Joe.
Okay.
But we know many at your home don't have the large one. So it's always key to show you a way to get around it if you have smaller tools, this being one of them. So what we've then got is we've started to get the outline of what is our box. And some of these will actually start to create the tabs. So what I'm going to do on all of them just now, I'm going to fold and burnish each one. Each of the line, folding and burnishing. Going back as well, this is why I brought in the bone folder on the list, but of course, if you do have one of these with your scoreboard, you can be using that one. So folding and burnishing. So what we can then do is fold that one over. So making sure we give it, I'm going to go in a diagonal line so that I can fit the length of my glass mat. So what we can then do is finish that one off. And then we can then come all the way along. And then I'm going to fold and burnish. So what then that will leave us then is on this side. So if I turn it that way, this side we have, if I am correct, which I am indeed, we have got 1.5 inch tab on this side here. So what we can then do is we can then come along, and then we want to do little cut marks. So if I lift this one up for you to see, so what we can do, Joe, is on each of these score lines here, I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to cut. I'm going to flip, actually I need to do that one as well. Let's cut that one. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it around. We are going to cut, 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 and then cut. And then at this point, what you'll see is how it starts to come together into a box. So you can see how,
cool,
if I fold that in, it's starting to come together as a box. So what we need to do to make that a little bit more slicker, let's do a couple of little V's or triangle, half diamonds. Let's go. We're going for the half diamonds today.
Love a diamond today.
Love a diamond. You always shine bright like a diamond when you come in here.
They're a girl's best friend, apparently.
Are they?
And they're forever.
True. Trying all my power not to sing. Or screech anyway. So here we are. So what we can then do is finish these bits off here. And then there. Now what we need to do with this top part, see how we've got this little tab here? And once again, what I'm going to do is on this bit, let's still cut a little V, because this is actually going to be the lid. So I'm going to flip it over. Let's cut a little V as well. So let's take that one out, and then again at this point, this is now that we've done these tabs, you're going to see how the whole lot starts to come together. But on this bit, what we'll do, if you pop it over, let's fold that one in. This is where it all starts to tuck in. We need to take these corner bits off. So if you can see these ones.
So you're going to totally remove that flap there?
This one here, chop off. And then this one, chop off. And with it being a gift box, Joe, if you want to make it that little bit more professional, what to do, cut at a slight angle.
Right.
You know how if you get little gift boxes or nice cute little card boxes, anything like that, the actual fold, the tab, is at a slight angle. And that just finishes it off nicely. You've not got that harsh line all the way around. But then what we will need to do is, because of the size of the cardstock, we do need to create our own little side panels. See how we've got that hole within the middle there? So what we're going to do, let's bring in a piece of cardstock. Let's bring this one. So I've got my tester piece at the side. So let's use that one. I'm going to use probably use my red liner tape again because it's a box. I told you we're going to be cutting it for time with this one, that's for sure. So
I have all faith that we'll get there.
Let's make this one smaller because I don't need it all. So what we're going to do, go back to our guillotine, which is here. Let's set that one to the side. And now what I need is I'm going to square this one off. So what we can do with this one, I'm going to go over this instructions for that box again just shortly. So I need two little square panels. So what I need to then do is I need to then come along and I need to do 3.5 by 3.5. There and there. There and then there. So now that we've got two of them, Joe, that will be my side panel. So that will then be what creates the panel to finish it off that you can see there. So let me just go over this bit here.
Okay.
So
some questions coming in about the size of the card at the very start, Craig. It's the original piece of card that you started with here for this box.
For the box, so the size of the box was A3.
A3, so it was a whole piece of A3.
But it was taking a whole piece of A3 and then right at the end of the long layer of the card. So we'll see that looking down just in a moment. So right at the end of your A3 piece of cardstock, we've trimmed off at 1 inch.
Okay.
So we're trimmed off at 1 inch. So then we're pretty much still left with that full A3 size. So then what we've done is we came along and then we scored it 1 inch all the way down. And then we've turned it over and we scored it 1 inch all the way down on the long side. We then brought it in, and then what we've done when it comes to the shorter side, we then came along and then we scored at, let's start at this side, scored at 3.5 inches and then 7 inches, folded that one over, placed that one up against the edge of our scoring board, 3.5 inches again, 7 inches again. Then what we've done in each of these little tabs, we've just cut little triangles. We've taken out these two corner bits that's going to create the actual worker of the box. And then for the side panels, I've taken two of same colour cardstock, 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and that's what's going to be the actual side panels of our box.
Fantastic. Elizabeth Cram says, is this paper in the bundle? It is not in the bundle. Now, you will find A3 Centura Pearl cardstock over on the website. Search for it over there and you'll find it very easily. This is the double-sided, is it the ivory you're using here, Craig?
It is, yeah. And as you said, it's not in the bundle. That's why it was an extra on the product list. So
Absolutely.
That's why it was an extra there.
Fabulous.
There we go. So do you think we should just crack on and assemble it? Let's do it. Let's go for it. So what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to come in. I'm going to go into this base layer here. And all of these panels, as you can see, are 3.5 by 3.5. So I'm going to go in. Let's use my tape runner because it's a nice sturdy box, so it's more than capable. So I'm going to pop this bottom tab onto the bottom here and then press. I'm going to do the same on this one. So let's pop my...
It's actually good to see how to make these larger boxes as well, Craig. You know, it's obviously a size we don't make very often.
No.
But going to be handy, obviously, to house this cracker in, but you could use this for all sorts of different gifts.
You can. You absolutely can, you know, because it's a good sizable box, as you said, Joe. So it's nice to be able to pop many different things in. So let's give that a rub. And what I've done is made sure the tab is on the inside so that we're going to be covering the tab all the way around. So let's turn it over, and then on all of these bits here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1, and then I'm going to do 2. I'm not going to add any adhesive on this top part or these 2 bits, because that's the flaps to fold in on the box.
Cool. It's on a multi-buy at the moment. £30 for $42 gets you 3 packs of that Centura Pulse. Go check it out over on the website.
I knew there was also a reason why I wanted to use that one, and it was because I knew that we had it on an offer. So then what I can do is we can then, I'm going to bring it up so you can see, I'm going to fold each of these layers in. So fold that one in, and then fold that one in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on itself, and I'm going to press with my finger just so we can make it nice and robust. Nothing stopping you from maybe cutting another square if you want, Joe, just to cover that up. That's optional. I shall leave that to yourself to decide. But then what I'm going to do is let's tuck that one in to here. Let's tuck that one in to there. And then press that in, make it nice and sturdy. That then gives us our box with our box lid that we can see here, which will then hold our cracker that you can see here. So let's tuck that in. So that's just catching on that tab there. So
How fabulous.
It's the box. So we'll take a minute break, Joe, and then we'll
Yep.
get these last layers done to at least do these. We definitely won't get the poinsettia done.
Okay.
But all that is, repeat exactly what I've done with this poinsettia, just use the smaller petal, do exactly what I've done, and that's going to be the decoration, but we will get the mats and layers done.
Excellent. Don't forget as well, you're probably not going to get, well, you won't get time to send your pictures in to us at the end of this craft along, but myself and Craig are back during cartload, so we'd love to see your pictures as and when you finish between shows. Send them in to us, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, pop craft along in the subject heading, and we will share some of those with you during that later cartload show. Don't miss that as well, 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. if you're across on the East Coast. Loads of awesome deals coming up for you in that show as well, which is brilliant. Right, Craig, you ready for me to come back to you? Or do you need a little bit longer?
Nope, let's go for it.
Awesome.
Bring in our guillotine once again, so let's set that one to the side. And then what we're going to do, Joe, is we'll bring in another couple of layers. So we're going to go in with our green again, and then we're going to go in with this pattern here. So it's got the little red and green snowflakes. So then what we can do is then we can come in here. So what I need to do is I need to cut 3 pieces of the green card, which is 3 inches by 9 inches. So I'm going to do them 3 by 9. So there's 1, let's do 2, so 3 by 9, and then 3 by 9, which is here. So if we go in with this one, we can then come in. So now that I've moved that one out of the way, what I can then do is then I can come in, is we can come in with our green card. I am going to do a very quick bit of inking, Joe. Very quick.
Okay. You can't help yourself, can you?
I can't.
Just can't help yourself.
I can't. Tell you what, let's just do the green inking on one of them.
Okay.
Which can be the top one. This will be our top layer. So let's do green inking, pine tree again on this top one. then what we can do is let's go in now. Let's bring in our guillotine again, set that to the side. So what we need to do this time is let's bring in our green card. So we're then going to cut this one to 3 1/4. So we're going to go 3 1/4 by 9 1/4. So this is going to give us a 1/4 of an inch matting layer. So 3 1/4 by 9 1/4, and then 3 1/4 by 9 1/4. So that gives me my layers now. So let's move them bits out the way, bring these back in. So we've got what will be my top bit, because I've gone around with some ink, and then my front and my back. So bringing in my tape runner for this one, and then we're going to assemble these. And it would even look different if you chose to use maybe the red instead of the green pearl card. That would look nice, and it would give it a different look. You might want to do it with gold. Once you've got the basics, there's so much you can play with, Joe, with the colours or textures, or, you know, with the inks that you might want to use.
Yeah, and I guess this box is going to work all year round. You know, so it could be a box that you just
Exactly.
saying you could use for so many different things. Don't forget as well, you can watch this back any time you like, this craft along as well. It will always be available for you over on our website or wherever you're watching it, so Facebook or YouTube. You can watch it back whenever. So if you wanted to repeat the project, maybe do it again, or maybe you want to watch it through. I know a lot of people craft along live with us, Craig. Some of our crafters prefer to watch it through first and then go back and start from the start again. There's no right or wrong way to do it. As long as you're learning something new and picking up some new skills, then that is exactly what this is all about, inspiring you to give something a go for the first time. And I think the great thing about this craft along is it will be the first time a lot of you maybe even seen a cracker before, let alone giving it a go. So I think you're going to really enjoy putting these together, but also giving them as well. So Susan asked, for those in the US who aren't familiar with crackers, how do you open them? Are they a one-time use, or can they be used again? Traditionally, you would use them once and then they would be thrown, wouldn't they, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guess with yours, you just untie the ribbon, would you remove the present and then reuse it if you wanted
Untie
to?
it. Exactly, that's all you need to do is untie it, pop the present in, give it to the recipient. You might want to ask for the cracker back so you can reuse it, or then the recipient can then reuse it and gift it. So yeah. As you say, usually it's a one-time use, but for this one, it's not. So what we're going to do now is let's take our 3 panels. I'm going to take the one that I've done a little bit of ink in, and I'm going to pop that along the top. So I'm going to fold it down to make it easier for myself. So let's bring that one in and press that one in. And then what I'm going to do, taking our other 2, so one of them can go on the front. I've not decorated the side square panels. That's something that I didn't do on my original one. If it's something you want to do, again, that's another one that you can then continue with and add extra layers on. And then this third one, I've popped it onto the back panel that we can see here. So I'm going to press them ones in. I'm going to press them ones in. That will then be the box for a cracker. So what you will need to do at your own leisure is make another poinsettia that's going to sit into the middle. The only thing that I want to do last, so that we can at least complete the full cracker, I've got the twine, I've got the little bells on them.
Okay.
So we've taken some of the bells, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that over on itself so that I've got the bells so they're in the middle of the ribbon. And let's tie this one. With it being gold ribbon or gold thread, what I'm doing is I'm tying this one into a knot. If you are going to use it as a way to give a gift, then again you could just hand tie it like we done with these ones. But I'm not cutting it completely short because it's gold. I like to have that bit of gold ribbon just showing. It's just nice, it's subtle, but it's just showing. And then let's take another one again. So it's 3 of the bells. So I've gone for the red, I've gone for the green, and that copper. So I'm going to pop that one into there. And let's tie it once again. Let's just get that in. So at least we'll have done the full cracker. We will have done majority of the box. The only thing you'll need to do is do another poinsettia, which we've already covered. You're just going to make it slightly bigger with that large poinsettia petal. And then, of course, you can finish off with a sentiment on the front. I'll show you the finished result in a moment. But there's the cracker. That can go nicely into the box. We can then close that one over. And we just about, Joe, got there within that full project. But this is the one that had finished. Sentiment on the front, the poinsettias. But there we go. We've got just a little bit of time, but we do just need to go over the last few bits. But you know what? Pretty good go. We just about got there, but we've got the bulk of it.
We knew it was going to be ambitious, didn't we, Craig?
We did
Let's say,
indeed.
to say the least. So I'm glad we absolutely got that. I'm going to quickly, as quick as I can, run back through the collection that we've got available for you with the Twas the Night Sara Signature Collection. It's a brilliant deal for you with an absolutely excellent saving. So in here you've got that poinsettia you can use. You've also got the embossing folder in there as well, which is your musical notes. You've got Stockings by the Fire, which are your awesome stamps. You've also got your traditional window stamp and die, cut and emboss folder in there. This is your builder stocking. Now these are great because these really do create a scene and build these up, but also lots of different stamps in there that you can use as well. We've got exactly the same concept, but in the builder sleigh for you. Then you've got this one here, which is St. Nicholas, looking again at your stamps. Love this one, which is your Christmas Eve, very sort of Dickensian, that one. Then we've got some edgeables for you as well. So you've got your music and swirls, and you've also got your pine tree in here. We then have another stamp set, which is your Happy Christmas to All. Really lovely little poem about the reindeers here in this one. Your decorative frame. I think that would be lovely for a tag this. It's really nice size, or for smaller cards that you might want to use with this. Then we move into the embellishments, which are just amazing. You've got the berries and the pine cones here. You will also get the ribbons. And you've got the jingle bells in there too. Don't forget, you will also get the gold twine in there. And you're going to receive as well that 6x6 card pad, which is awesome. So again, really lovely traditional artwork in here with, of course, that accent foiling, which is awesome. Should we go back to Pam, see how Pam is getting on over in New York? Pam, how are you getting on? How have you found the craft along?
I followed along perfectly. My box is just about done.
Oh, we can't quite hear Pam for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. We will. Sorry, Pam. I'll ask you that again. How are you? How did you find it?
I found it fine. It was easy to follow. I finished my box. Except
Wowzers.
for the decorations. Amazing. And I just had to add the bells to the cracker.
Have you enjoyed? Did you enjoy putting it together?
Oh yes, it was lots of fun.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it, and I'm so glad to see that you managed to get your box decorated there as well. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, Pam, and I hope we'll see you again soon.
Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
So lovely to have Pam joining us there from New York. Lots of you chatting away as well. Michelle Nitsu says she loves the size of that box. We'll definitely be recreating that as well for Christmas presents. Right. Craig has got a few finished bits that he'd like to share with us. Remember as well what's coming up later today. You've got Cartload coming your way. 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast time, 11 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. Loads of amazing items in that show for you. Don't forget as well, best way to get the best value is to go for that larger collection, but there are some smaller ones for you as well. And I'm going to whiz through those now. You've got the Embossing Collection available to you firstly. You've got a cut and emboss folder and the emboss folder in there, $11.18 or $13.93. if you want to get your hands on that one. But we've then got the metal die collection available for you too. 2 different edgeables in there, that lovely floral one and the gorgeous frames coming your way here, 34.27 or 40.46. Then you've got stamps and dies, really beautiful collection there. The build a sleigh and the build a stocking, really big substantial ones there. We've also got the embellishments available for you. Would be a great idea to go for the main collection, add some of the embellishments in, because I think you're going to get loads of crafting out of them. And then you've also got here as well that 6x6 paper pad as well. Craig's got a few more bits he wants to share with us over there. I'll say a few bits. There's so many awesome things been made with this, isn't there, Craig?
There's been loads and loads and loads. Just to give you a quick bit of ideas. as to what you can then be doing. So whether it's the stockings, it's Santa Claus, the edibles, you know, you've got the frame as well. There really is so much that you can be making with this collection. It's gorgeous. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, so much you can do with it, and you can see there with just the amount of samples that's been made by the design team. People have absolutely loved it. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Don't forget as well, you can watch this back anytime you like. All the collections are available for you, so if you've watched it and through and you think, gosh, I really do want to now get my hands on that, then you've definitely got the opportunity to do so. Remember, myself and Craig will be back here in 2 hours' time with that incredible cartload. So I hope you'll join us then for that. That's 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast time. If you don't join us for that, then we'll see you back here for Wake Up Call tomorrow at midday UK time or 7 a.m. East Coast time, where we'll be continuing with the craft factor, which is always very, very exciting. Massive thanks to Craig as always. Big thanks as well to our guest Pam, and we'll see you back here in a couple of hours. Take care.
Bye.